Hey guys, and welcome back to the Plot Genie. Today we are going to be talking about series planning for fast writers. So you want to write fast, finish your books, and actually enjoy the process. That's an important part without hitting that dreaded mid-series burnout. Okay, I got you. I'm going to walk you through my series planning system for fast writers, the exact framework that I use to plan multi-book series that are bingeable and manageable, even if you're short on time. Whether you decide that you want to rapid release or write at your own pace, this method is going to work for you. Let's do it. So let's start with the truth. Fast writing without a plan is burnout. If you dive into book one without a series roadmap, you're either going to write yourself into a corner by book two or slow down because you're constantly second guessing your plot lines, or three, you're going to have a great first book, but you haven't placed any Easter eggs or potential spin-offs. Like if you're doing that standalone within a series, we need the characters, right? We want our readers to be like, when are we getting his book, right? So we want to make sure that we're doing all of that. And if you're trying to monetize your books, that's a problem. Bingeable is bankable, okay? So planning your series in advance doesn't mean locking yourself into rigid rules. It means giving yourself creative flexibility with structural support. Before you plan anything, answer this. What's the emotional promise of your series? Is it a cozy mystery series where the heroine grows bolder with each case? Is it a dark romance series where each hero falls harder than the last? Is it a fantasy saga where good and evil blur more with every book? Knowing the emotional through line keeps your writing aligned, even when the external plots change from book to book. And it works through dynamic series as well as episodic series, as well as the standalone interconnected series. So, a tip for this is to write a single sentence that captures the vibe readers can expect every time they pick up a book in this particular series. So, for example, this might look like this series is about morally gray hockey players falling for women they should never touch. So, we already see hockey, we see forbidden romance, and we see morally gray. So now we want to think about our arcs. There are three different arcs I want to talk about. This is the heart of your fast planning process, your macro arc. So this is a series-wide plot. What is the overarching plot that spans across all books? So think, is it the war, the murder conspiracy, the family curse? If you're even writing cozies, this is what I did for the first 12 books of my Cherry Blossom Bay. The overarching, but very, very, very background for the most part was Kitsune's sort of like unsolved serial killer case that his best friend and or his two best friends were murdered over. So that even though there were mysteries that were solved within the time frame, and for the most part, I think every book touched on the mystery itself, but never really went into detail until the very kind of end of that sort of 12 book arc. So think about that. This is what drives momentum across the series. The second part is your micro arcs. This is per book. So each book should have a standalone or episodic arc. So a murder is solved, a romance is resolved, or a mission is completed. Keep these self-contained but tied to the larger macro arc. And then finally, your emotional arc, which is your character growth. How does your main character evolve over the course of the series? Track it. And yes, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know, even if it's episodic, even if it's cozy, your heroine or your hero, whatever your main character is supposed to grow. My heroine started book one in the Dominion Point mystery series, completely a little bit insecure with herself. She started the academy, like she's like, I don't have any superheroes, I don't belong here, what am I doing? And I've already edited, gosh, I think it's book seven technically, and she has found her place, she's found her friends, she's got mystery solved. Even though she might not have super pure powers, she's leaning into her strengths, which is more strategic, right? We see that growth little by little by little, but it's still there. So, a bonus tip for your emotional arc is if you're doing companion romances, like one couple per book, that interconnected standalone, track how the friend group, maybe the team, or even the town evolves instead of your characters when you're tracking over the course of the series, right? Um, so now we want to talk about the cheat sheet method. This is, I swear by this, because you don't actually need like a 50-page series Bible. Instead, you just want to track your characters. So the name, ages, tropes, and roles, your settings, your key places, the cafe, the library, whatever. Maybe have a map and rules, like if they're magic, some threads, like what do you introduce and when are you going to pay it off? It could be your character's backstory. It could be an unsolved mystery. It could be the characters that are going to populate, like the characters of a hockey team or something like that. Foreshadowing. This is possibly teased in book one, resolved in book three. Cliffhangers and hooks. You can use a spreadsheet, a printable, a sticky note, whatever works for you. The point is to have a visual of your series at a glance if visuals work for you, and this helps you, this keeps you fast and focused. So now that you have a plan, let's keep you writing. Batch your brainstorming. So use templates or beat sheets. Give yourself buffer time. Not every book needs to be 100,000 words unless that's what you want and that serves the story. And alternate heavy books potentially with breather books, again, if that works within your brand. Writing should feel like momentum, not a marathon with no water breaks. And don't forget to schedule mini breaks between books, even maybe just a week to refill the creative tank before diving into the next one. You might even need to review like what actually happened. I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes I'm writing, I'm so focused that if I step back and I think about like, oh shit, what was this book about? You know, this avoids burnout and it keeps your writing joyful. So, here is your action plan. Define your series promise, track your macro, your micro, and your emotional arcs. Use a simple cheat sheet to keep yourself organized and build momentum with rest. This is how I write multiple series a year without crashing. I have a bunch of resources in my website. Check the links below and tell me in the comments, what is your series about? I would love to cheer you on. Until next time, happy plotting, and remember, it's a series, not a sprint. You've got this. I will talk to you later. Take care.